Welcome to the introduction to the Bootcut Stamp and Die Set. Now you are going to create multiple cowboy boots or cowgirl boots, not only in layering up die cuts, but also layering up your stamping. And I'm going to walk you through those individually. So on the back of the packaging for the dies, it does give you some examples to get you started, and they are so much fun to create with. Now, first, let's take a look at the individual sentiments that are included on this stamp set. So you obviously have that large Yeehaw, which is super fun. Stay wild. I thank my lucky stars for you. I'm head over boots for you. Howdy and happy birthday. We have a cactus, some stars, a moon, and a horseshoe. For the boots, I thought it would be easier to show you first what it looks like all stamped out, and then I'm going to walk you through this step by step. So there are three different boot styles that I just did in a variety of colors. I have the flowers, there's this snake, I actually did two flowers, and then just kind of this really fun Western design. Here's a little breakdown of how the boots work. So that first image on that left-hand side, that first column, is one image. So you would stamp that first. The second image would be to fill in the bottom portion of your boot. And then your third image is going to be either the snake or there's like a little strap at the top of the boot with some circle designs. And then your flowers that you can stamp in green and red here. I did for my card example, but you can use any shade for the flowers that you'd like. Let's go ahead and stamp one of these out. So I'm grabbing the snake boot because I thought that was just a really kind of fun design. So I have a piece of white cardstock. I'm taking the main boot piece that has that snake on there, and I picked it up with the door of my Misty. Now, the first color I'm going to start with is Rainforest ink. So you're going to ink up your stamp really well, stamp that down, and it's going to give you the top of your boot and also the bottom portion of your boot or your heel or the sole of the boot. So I'll stamp that down. I'm going to clean my stamp off, and then I'm going to grab the second layer of the boot, which is going to fit right in between. So I lined that up with the sole of the boot, pick that up with the door of the Misty, or you can use a stamping block if you're more comfortable with that. And then you can either stamp it in the same color, or I'm going to stamp it in a lighter color, which is eucalyptus. So of course you can really customize and have fun with these, maybe shades of brown or shades of pink. When I was on Pinterest looking up different boots, there's actually a lot of really neat styles out there. Next, for our design here, I'm using the snake. So I grabbed the snake image and I'm lining that up in the open area of my boot. You can also use this image individually if you'd like to make a snake card. So I'm going to stamp my snake in Sprout ink because I want it to really pop from that rainforest ink that I used for the boot. So I'm going to stamp that down, and that's going to complete our image. And then we can use the coordinating die to die cut out our boot. So it would be the same similar steps for the other two designs of the boot. And here's a look again at the different ones that I did, maybe in shades of blue, or I did a pink cowboy boot. So you can really get creative with the colors on those. Before I get into the die cut boot, I wanted to share with you the examples. So first we have the word howdy. So you do have a die cut word. Now for the boots, I went ahead and put together a few different examples. I know the black, I'm sorry, is a little hard to see there on my black mat. So I'm going to bring in this Tide Pool cardstock to help that stand out a little bit more. But I think the black cowboy boots were just so stunning. You can add a little bouquet of flowers. You can do the horseshoe. We have these two different Western scenes, which I did one in kind of a daylight and the other one is nighttime. And then there's one where you can do the cactus. When I'm die cutting and working with the sets, I just die cut out a whole bunch of things in various shades. And so this is what I have spread out on my cardstock. And then I can mix and match. So I can create different colors of bouquets. There's the horseshoe, there's the cactus that you can add the little flowers to. There's some stars. There's also a circle that you can use for a sun. And then there's the little crescent for the moon. So lots of really great little things to fill in your boots. You can use these bouquet of flowers individually on their own or tuck it inside of the boot. So when you die cut the boot, you're going to have kind of one whole piece. And then the part that's got the scene on it, like for this one with the canyon, There is a die that cuts just the top portion that you can fill in with either the cactus or this canyon scene. So that's how you're getting like a gray boot, or actually it's pebble cardstock, and then maybe the tide pool. So here's a closer look at it. You can see I lined up the bottom of that top portion with the stitching of the boot, and that is just a really fun canyon scene. There's also a die where you can just maybe add a design to it. So I'll bring that up closer there. It's in the middle. It's got like these swirls in it to give it that Western design. I die cut mine onto black cardstock. I apologize, a little hard to see in the camera, but it is just a really neat Western design. Would look really nice on maybe like a dark brown cardstock. For my card examples, I did a white cowboy boot and I added a little bouquet of flowers onto the front. My background was using the checkered stencil, so I did wheat cardstock with wheat ink. I did some splatters of actually using my nutmeg re-inker for brown splatters and then some white paint. Did the howdy on the front and then additional stars in the background. I love how that card came out. And the second card that I created was using some ink blending. So I did like harbor ink towards the top, wheat ink blending towards the bottom. I filled in the scene with the cactuses, and then this is where I used the stamp layering boot. I die cut them out so I could pop them up on the front of the card. Again, I have some stars to fill in there because stars just seem to really fit in with the cowboy theme, and then my stamped sentiment, yeehaw. This is just an individual look at the boots that I created because I love them so much. And that is a closer look at the Bootcut Stamp and Die bundle, now available at Concord and Ninth.